It's the radio guy, Dr. Mike Prince. Welcome to another episode here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. It is our mission to try to bring you some news you can use, and today is no exception to the rule. Follow me on X at the Mike Prince Show. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at the Open Mic Broadcast Network, and you can always visit our 24-hour stream at obnradio.com. Click on that 24-hour stream link, and you'll be enjoying all kinds of off-the-script coverage right here from the Open Mic Broadcast Network. Well, the weekend has come and gone, and the FAMU Rattlers, or the Southwestern Athletic Conference 2023 football champions, congratulations to Coach Willie Simmons and the FAMU Rattlers. They beat the Panthers by the score of 35-14, and there are no excuses. The better team did win. However, does not mean that Prairie View ended on four flat tires. They were just outmanned, outplayed, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about that. And to hear a bunch of the rhetoric that is going on, that it's time to change the coaching staff, I would say, whoa, Nelly, pump the brakes before you get too deep off into something. Before, if anybody's going to get fired, how about firing the fans? The fan support has been so lackluster. It has been so embarrassing that the ones that are hollering and kicking the most, not showing up and supporting in any kind of way, those are the ones that are quick to say, get rid of this and get rid of that. And it's just so sad to see all of, I'm going to call it the fraudulent fan base. As long as things are going good, as long as you're winning, then everybody's who you're rooting for, PVU. But the minute something doesn't go the way you think it should go, the first thing you'll say is, that's why I don't come. That's why I don't support. Either you're going to support or you're going to get off the truck. I set up and looked at the Facebook. There's an alumni page, and this is just one page. Over 14,000 people in this group. And I know that everybody's financial challenges are different. Everybody's not the same. But I would think you would agree with me that in a $100 commit, if you committed to $100 a calendar year, and if all 14,000 people in that group alone would make a commitment to $100 a year for support of Prairie View athletics alone, that would generate a $1.4 million surplus. Now, we know that $1 million doesn't go as far as it used to go 20 years ago, but $1 million can make such an impact for our FCS programs, for our HBCU programs, that you could easily commit to that. No one is going to go broke behind a $100 annual commitment for the sole cause of supporting Prairie View athletics. So for those who are out there, Lord, I buy season tickets. That's nice. But if we just earmark this $100 for the support of Prairie View athletics, imagine the impact. And like I said, that was just one group identified in Facebook with over 14,000 people. Meanwhile, whatever the reason is, however you're not coming and you show up when you want to show up, you have that right as a fan. And you even have the right to say and voice what you don't like. But if you're not going to help the situation, why continue to tear it down? And when you're not showing up, guess what you're doing? You're tearing it down. As proof in the pudding, these young women and men that we are supposed to be supporting right now as active student athletes that represent Prairie View A&M University, one day they're going to graduate. One day they become part of the alumni family. They are going to remember how they were handled, and they will either keep passing it forward or sit down and say they didn't do nothing for me. That is the culture that we all talk about and claim about, changing the culture. Changing the culture is actually going to have to start and need to start with alumni. With alumni showing by example to those who are in the midst of their college days on how it should be done. Yes, you can glorify and reminisce on what it was like when you were on the yard. Yes, times are different, but the need is the same. And if we're not supporting one another, how can we expect anyone else to support us? Something that I observed over the weekend. I was looking in particular for the Houston Chronicle in their report for the Prairie View A&M University Panthers making it to the Southwestern Athletic Conference Championship. Because you know what? People on the outside don't understand the dynamics between Harris County and Waller County. They always say we're in Houston. And we that are in the Prairie View zone, we love to go toward Houston. Well, just a little news flash. Houston let us know what they thought about us actually when you go and look at the newspaper coverage at least. I didn't even think about looking at the local sports news, but this in the newspaper alone, they mentioned about the University of Texas from the Houston base. They mentioned about Texas A&M. They mentioned about everything, U of H. But when they got to Prairie View, if it was 100 words mentioned on Prairie View, I'd give you $100. And I'm going like, wait a minute. Here we look at the dynamics of what we have. If we look at this, we have head coach Bubba McDowell, who played for the Houston Oilers, with Prairie View A&M University, that is 45 miles northwest of Houston, Texas. You mean to tell me that we wasn't worth at least half an article? It wasn't even an article. It was a mention. Oh, by the way, Prairie View played for the SWAC championship. But I can get from the Houston Chronicle, that's where I'm focused at right now, I can get all of this information about what SMU have done, about Tulane coach coming to U of H and all that. But I can't get any credibility or at least an acknowledgement that Prairie View made it to the SWAC championship. But that's a whole nother ball of wax. That's why it's so important that we take care of our own. Now, when I talk to people across the gamut, they say, well, we got the same thing, Prince. It's not just Prairie View, and I hear that, but I didn't graduate from those other places. I graduated from Prairie View. I root for PVU, and I am concerned about what PV Nation could be doing to improve the overall athletic experience. Now, we're proud that we were able to broadcast that game live with connection with the Rattler Sports Network. So we were able to simulcast that game live, and you guys can go check it out on our YouTube channel at Open Mic Broadcast Network. But these are things that we've been committed to from day one. We broadcast every game from Labor Day Classic to the Southwestern Athletic Conference Championship on this independent network. And I'm going to continue to say independent and put an emphasis on that, because although we are all in for Prairie View Athletics, it appears at times that the administrative team at Prairie View A&M Athletics are not all into open mic. And that is okay. It's not going to stop the train from going. But what I'm saying is, if you can sit here and say that you love and support anything, whether it's Prairie View or any other location, then you make the necessary adjustments and you do the best you can with what you have. Now, it might not be at what some would call an apex moment, but it's the apex moment that you can provide. And if everyone, going back to that room, can go with $100 commitment just for the sole support of athletics. There was even a page about homecoming parking that had, I think, 1,100 members. 1,100 members that were concerned about homecoming parking. Everybody got what their grind is. But I found that to be extremely intriguing. We're concerned about homecoming parking and won't come to the game. We'll show up for homecoming, but won't step inside the stadium. And let me give you some news. Your homecoming wouldn't quite be the same if there wasn't athletics involved. Just think about that for a minute. So I know as the football season comes to a conclusion, we'll have the Celebration Bowl on December 16th, FAMU and Howard Bison. I am rooting solely for the FAMU Rattlers, which will be representing the Southwestern Athletic Conference, to come out on top. And I'm hoping that Coach Willie Simmons and company will be able to finish the job. Meanwhile, talking about finishing jobs, this is the day of the transfer portal opening up. And there are going to be a lot of interesting names. People will put their name in the portal to determine if there are going to be any other buyers for their skill set to enhance the next program. And, of course, one of the big ones that will be mentioned throughout the Southwestern Athletic Conference is that in the likes of Andrew Body. He said that he should be hitting the portal today, and there are also whispers there are going to be a couple of people from Prairie View hitting that portal. So it's going to be very interesting to see how all of this unfolds. And other Southwestern Athletic Conference football news, the heat has turned up tremendously in relating Coach Fred McNair to the opening at Texas Southern University. How true is that? Still yet to be determined. Some are even going to say that maybe this is kind of used as some type of negotiation tack that he can get what he really wants to get from Alcorn. If you were asking me of the positions that are open right now in the conference of the Southwestern Athletic Conference, you have Texas Southern, you have Grambling, Southern University that we know of at this moment, and I guess technically you could say Alcorn. If Fred McNair is somewhere other than Alcorn, I'm thinking with the personalities of the history of the institutions that were mentioned of availability, I think the perfect fit would be Grambling State University. And that's where, if he is to relocate, that's who I'm saying is going to be the dark horse to end up with Fred McNair. But with all that being said, for all we know, in 2024, Fred McNair will still be on the reservation leading the charge for the Braves. But there's been a lot of connection with he and Texas Southern, and for whatever reason, he's one heck of a coach. Always been one of my favorite coaches. I don't see that as a really good fit to be at Texas Southern. But I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. Heck, I guaranteed that Prairie View was going to win this past weekend. I came up short. But congratulations to the Panthers for making it to the championship game. And although the score says 35-14, it was a lot different contest than that on October 28th when they lost 45-7. So hold your head up, Panthers. Keep on grinding. And they're going to have to address some things, just like every team is going to have to address some things. And the main thing is who will lead the Panthers as far as quarterbacking goes. And all of this will be answered, if not while the portal is open, definitely during recruiting. And we know how things go after spring football when you get some last-minute transfers or recruitment pieces added. Meanwhile, we're going to start gearing up our energies and effort toward the basketball season. The Panthers, on both the men and women's side, have had some pretty good runs thus far for this start of the 23-24 season. In fact, we'll have some more basketball coverage for Panthers women's basketball. They'll be in action on December 10th, and December 18th we'll have a little coverage for the Panthers on the men's side of things. They'll host North America on the Hill, December the 18th. And don't look now. Before you know it, it will be baseball, softball season. That is creeping up on us as we get ready. As they'll break from the Christmas break, when we come back, it'll be time to be flashing that leather. And guess what? We're going to do all we can while we can right here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. I am getting ready to exit stage left. I do want to thank you guys so much for your support and joining in with us each and every day. Don't forget, the Mike Prince Show is available for you Monday through Friday. The Zone available on Saturdays. We have our game coverage, which can be, in most cases, during basketball, Saturdays and Mondays. And we have Temple of Refuge Ministries available on Sundays. So we literally have something coming for you each and every day. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. Follow me on X at the Mike Prince Show. I've got to go. My time is far spent. So until the next time, you guys be blessed, and we'll see you on the other side.